Hello everyone, welcome to another live video. In this one, speaking about how they are all jealous of you. And you may not even realize it. You may not even understand how they could be jealous of you. After all of the things that they've told you, and they've made you feel bad about yourself, as though you're not as good as you actually are. And that's why we're going to get into this right now. Because it is a horrible experience when people are jealous of you, especially when you're not even aware of it. And I've spoken about this before. I've done some videos on it already, talking about narcissists and jealousy. But in this one, I'm just going to get into the specific signs and what to look for to know that someone is jealous of you. Before I begin, please hit the thumbs up button down below, as it helps to support the YouTube algorithm and to get this message out there to other people who may need to see it as well. And also, I am accepting donations, which will be very helpful for our community. You can donate by going to my PayPal, which is paypal.me/Narc Survivor. I appreciate all donations, no matter how small. Now let's get into this message, giving you the signs that yes, they are all jealous of you. The first sign is that when they're jealous of you, they will actually try to provoke envy or jealousy in you. So they will just start bragging and boasting about their success or accomplishments. They might even just make things up. Just anything to try to make you envious or jealous of them. Or it may even be something where they just talk about a friend or even a celebrity. Just anything to try and provoke these emotions out of you. But what they're really doing is they're actually projecting their own emotions of envy and jealousy towards you onto you. They're trying to get you to identify with it, so that you then take it on as your own, and then it relieves them of those painful emotions in that moment. And it makes them feel like the problem is you and not them. Another thing that they will typically do when they are jealous of you is that they will insult you. They will call you names. They will target your self-esteem. They will make you feel like you're not as good as you actually are. They will make you feel like you're incapable, as though your qualities and abilities just aren't good enough. And yet at the same time, they will actually be mimicking and copying you. And this is the funny thing, because it's how you really know that they are jealous of you. Because it's like 1 minute they're insulting you and putting you down, and then at the same time they're mimicking you and they're copying you. They're copying your qualities, your behaviors, your mannerisms, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, maybe the way you do your hair. All of these things, and yet at the same time they're putting you down. And then they will start acting more arrogant and entitled, as though they're so much greater than what they actually are. They will show an exaggeration of their own abilities and importance, because They're stealing bits of your identity. And the way that they see you, and this may make some of you laugh, but this is actually the truth when they're jealous of you, is that they actually think that you think you're better than everyone. So now they want to take you down a notch. They want to humble you and show you that you're not as great as you think you are. You're not better than everyone. Even though you may never have been thinking that way anyway. But that's how they're seeing it. And you will know that they're seeing you in that way. Because when a jealous person thinks that you think you're better than everyone, they're going to try to make you feel like you're worse than everyone, as though you're no good for anyone or anything. Which is why there were parties and special occasions, just any type of event, especially if it's one where they think you may want to be there. It could be Christmas, a birthday, whatever it is, they will exclude you from that. And it's not only because they're jealous of you, but it's also because after they've been mimicking and copying you and stealing bits of your identity, they then want to attend these events and occasions alone without you, so that they can be you. Because of course there can't be two of you. So they have to leave you behind so that they can be you at these occasions or events on their own. But believe it or not, while they're going out and they've stolen bits of your identity and they're being you, at the same time they will then go to minimizing your success and accomplishments. Or they just won't even acknowledge it. You might achieve something and they will just completely ignore it. They'll just change the conversation. But then what they will do and what they will focus on, and they will blow it up out of proportion, is your faults and mistakes. The things that you do wrong. Or the things that you fail at. Yes, they will ignore your success and all of your accomplishments, but they will focus very heavily on your faults and mistakes, your flaws and imperfections, as though it's the most important thing in the world. Because they're trying to paint you in a bad light based on their biased perception. So they don't want to think about anything good about you. All they're going to focus on is anything bad, whether it's real or imagined. Some other signs that they're jealous of you is that they will lie to you. They will lie about anything and everything, just to really confuse you, so that you don't understand what is actually going on and why they're behaving in the way that they do. But then if they think that you're starting to catch on and you realize that something is wrong with how they are, and that they're not giving you any credit for your success, they're not reciprocating anything back to you, then they will future fake. They will make you believe in a possible future with them where you get something that you want. But when they're jealous of you, they're going to wait it out. They're going to dangle it like a carrot on a stick, and they're going to make you wait for a very long time. And you may wait and never actually get anything. You may never get the result that you want. And this could be things with, like they may say that they're going to call you at a certain time, and they never do. And then they'll say, okay, I'll call you tonight instead. And then it gets to that time, and then they never call you. And then maybe the next morning, they say, sorry, I forgot. Now I'm quite busy today. I'll call you tomorrow. And then the days and weeks go by, and they never do what they said they were going to do. Or they might not text you for several hours, maybe several days in some cases. And you may wonder what's going on. You may begin to question yourself and think if it's something you did, something you said, or as though you're not good enough. But it's actually nothing to do with you at all. It's actually quite the opposite, because they're doing these things because they're jealous of you. They're trying to take something away from you. They're trying to steal your shine. They're trying to make you think you're not as good as you actually are, because they're jealous. They feel like you're taking something away from them, so now they want to take something away from you. Jealous people will also act like they're superior to you, as though they're better than you in some way. And they will even want to maintain an authoritative position over you because they're jealous, so they view you as a valuable object. And they don't want to see you getting away. They want to maintain control over you. Because when something's valuable, you don't want to lose it. As I've said before, with jealousy, it's like, imagine if you lost just a cheap watch, didn't cost you much. Maybe it cost you $10, and that isn't too much to you. So you lose that watch, you might find a few minutes looking for it. But then after that, you're just going to give up, and you'll probably just buy another watch. But then if that was a valuable watch, if it was a Rolex, or maybe it had sentimental value, maybe your grandfather passed away and he left you that watch before he died. So it has a lot of value to you. It's not replaceable. If you lose that watch, you're going to spend more than just a few minutes looking for it. And in fact, you might go to the ends of the earth in an effort to find it again. It's the same thing with jealous people. They want to maintain that control over you because they're very jealous. So they want to own you. They view you as their possession, as something that belongs to them, as their property. And that's how they're jealous of you. Because if you don't really believe that you own something as though it's yours, then how can you be jealous? And at least with a normal person, because let's be real, everyone from time to time is going to experience envy and jealousy. These are normal human emotions. And it's healthy as long as these emotions do not lead to actions and behaviors, especially those that are harmful and destructive to another person. But with these types of jealous people, their emotions of envy and jealousy will lead to actions and behaviors where not only are they feeling like you're their possession, which can be normal sometimes. I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone, you might sometimes view that person as your possession. But then those emotions, you can keep them in check instead of letting them lead to actions or behaviors. But when it comes to pathological envy and jealousy, it's a different story. because it will lead to actual behaviors in the real world, but they are trying to exercise authority and control over you. They're trying to restrict and contain you. They're trying to lessen you so that you can't get away, so that you remain around them. And this can be very damaging to you and to your life, because they don't keep their emotions in check, because they're narcissistic, they're pathological. Which then leads to the next sign that they're jealous of you, is that they will then punish you for no apparent reason. They will take pleasure in your pain and misfortune. They will inflict harm on you and feel no concern about it, with no remorse. And one punishment they may give is the silent treatment, where all of a sudden they just stop texting you. They stop answering your calls. They just cut communication with you altogether, and you don't know why. They leave you without any closure, without an explanation for their behavior. Or instead of silent treatment, they may just completely ghost you. And you may be wondering what went wrong. Because it's like 1 minute they were talking to you. 1 minute it seemed like you were on the same page. And then all of a sudden they're gone. And you're wondering why. You're questioning yourself. But it's actually just because they're jealous of you. They feel like you're taking something away from them. Now that something is you. They feel like they can't have you, they can't possess you. And yet they view you as their possession. And they're jealous because they feel like you're taking yourself away from them. So they look at it like, okay, if you're taking yourself away from me, and there's nothing I can do about that, then I'm going to give you the silent treatment, so I'm going to ghost you. I'm going to take myself away from you because I can't control you. But that actually is also another act of control. They're controlling you, and they're trying to manipulate your emotions by giving you the silent treatment and by taking themselves away from you. Because they feel like you're not giving them all of your time and attention. Remember, they are insatiable. They want all of your time. They want you to be there for them whenever they need you, and you can never have any time to yourself. They want to micromanage you. They want to control your life. And if they feel like they can't do that, then they will resort to other control tactics such as silent treatment and gaslighting, and ghosting rather. But they will also gaslight you as well. As I mentioned earlier, they'll spin you around in circles, make you think that it's something wrong with you, and you're losing your mind, when actually no, they are jealous of you. But here's the crazy thing about it. And this is really another really clear sign, just as I mentioned earlier, of how they will insult you and target your self-esteem, yet at the same time mimic and copy you and steal bits of your identity. I mean, that's a major sign that someone is jealous of you. And here is another major sign that they are jealous of you. Because not only will they give you the silent treatment, or they will ghost you and cut off all communication with you, but then at the same time, while they're doing that, they will stalk and watch you. And they will act like they know everything about you and your life, because remember, they're viewing you as a possession. as though they own you as something that belongs to them. And it's like, if something belongs to you, you should know everything about it. Like, I'm sure many of you, if you got, maybe you bought a new mobile phone or a computer, if someone asked you any questions about it, you could probably tell them everything about it because it's yours, it belongs to you. Well, they view you as a possession as well, even though you're a person. They view you as this object that exists to serve them and meet their needs. So in their minds, they know everything about you that there is to know. They've already got you all figured out. And while it may seem like they've given you the silent treatment and they've ghosted you, they've been watching you from behind the scenes. They've been learning you, studying you, while they've been stalking and watching you. So in their minds, they know everything there is to know. They don't even need to ask you any questions about yourself. They don't need any input from you at all, because they think they've got you all figured out. While at the same time, not even communicating with you. Another major sign that they're jealous of you. Because it's like, how can you know anything? They're not even conversing with you. And you will notice this especially in complete strangers or acquaintances. It's like they've got you all figured out. They know everything there is to know. And they never even talk to you. They've never even had a conversation with you. So how could they know anything? Many of you, because you're empaths, you don't think about it in that way. You're not looking at them thinking, how could you know anything about me? I don't even know who you are. I've never talked to you. I don't even know if I've ever seen you before. Because you're an empath, because of the way that we were raised as children with narcissistic parents, we're not looking at them and thinking in that way. And instead we're looking at ourselves and thinking, what if they're right about what they think about us? Maybe they do know us better than we know ourselves. Even though we have spent 20, 30, 40 years with ourselves. And they may have just only now met us and never talked to us before. And yet we just assume that they're right and that they must know more about us than we know about ourselves. Because they seem so arrogant, so confident, like they know everything. And they don't really care about who you actually are. Because remember, they view you as their possession, as an object, a tool. They don't care about the real person of who you are. All they care about is manipulation and control, keeping you under their spell so that they can continue to use and exploit you. So they're not concerned about who you actually are. And in fact, they will project their own negative traits onto you and get you to agree with it. And because we're empaths, many of us, we will just agree with it without question. We will respond to it from how they're perceiving us. And if we agree to it, then to them that makes it real. It tells them that they're right. So then they will continue along with it. When it's all just because they're jealous. And they want to contain and confine you because they view you as their possession. So they want to control you. Which means they have to feel like they know you and they own you. Because if they don't know everything that there is to know, then that tells them in their mind that you do not belong to them. And they want you to belong to them. So they've already got to have their minds made up. They've got to have it all figured out, where it's like, I don't need any input from you. I don't need to ask you any questions about yourself. I just already know exactly who you are from the beginning. I already know when it's actually just because they're jealous. And it's that jealousy that causes them to become so possessive and controlling. Now, onto the more, well, stalking and watching you, that's quite an extreme sign of jealousy, as it is. But it does get even more extreme when you're dealing with people who are really pathological, maybe even malignant narcissists. Because what many of them will do are they're extremely jealous of you because they feel like you're taking yourself away from them. You're taking your qualities, abilities, possessions, and other desirable attributes away from them. They will then seek to sabotage your success. So whatever you're working towards, whatever you're doing, whatever's positive in your life, they're going to want to take that away. Especially if it's your success and your money and possessions, things that are helping you to escape their control. Because by doing that and by demonstrating your independence and autonomy, that's translating to them an act of bold defiance and rebellion to their position of authority and control over you, where they view you as their possession. Because if you're independent and you can take care of yourself, and you've got your own job, your own money, you know what you're doing, you're intelligent, you're grounded, all of these things are a threat to their control and to them being able to view you as their possession. Because for them to possess you, they need you to be dependent on them in some way. They need you to need them. Because otherwise, if you're able to go off into the world and just do your own thing, how can they possess you? How can they control you? And that's why they've got to sabotage your success. And that's when they will typically gossip about you, spread rumors. They will label you as this bad person. And they will bring up things from the past, things that could be from 10, 20 years ago. And they will act like it happened just yesterday. And they will triangulate you with other people, compare you with them, make it seem like they're so much better than you in some way, to make you feel insecure. And one of the most extreme signs of jealousy of all, aside from sabotaging your success, targeting you financially and trying to get you fired from your job, they will also start a smear campaign against you. That is if they are really pathological and just extreme jealousy. They will want to start a smear campaign against you and trying to get everyone to see you in the same way, because they view everyone as extensions of themselves. Everyone is just like a pawn in their chess game. And they will move them around and position them in ways to orchestrate the situation so that they can plan and coordinate the elements to produce their desired effects upon you. Where you feel like everyone's against you, you're isolated, you've got no support, no protection. And then they are better able to possess and control you, to restrict and confine you, to contain you. Because that's all that a jealous person really wants to do. When they view someone as being superior to them in some way, someone as being greater, like I said, with the Rolex or a watch of sentimental value, they don't want it to get away. They want to contain it because they want it to be theirs. So they will do whatever it takes to accomplish that, including starting a smear campaign, which is pretty much what they're trying to do when they do that. It's like, because they're so jealous, they're looking at the world that you're going out into, and it's like, you've got your job, you've got money in your account, you've got your savings, you've got whatever you need, you've got your own home, you've got your own business, you've got your own food, you've got your own friends, social circle. Maybe you've got family members that are supporting you. And you've just got this whole world that you can go out into to live your life, to explore and be yourself and just do whatever you want to do. And all of these things are making them more and more jealous, to the point where they just want to take it all away. They want to get rid of your friends, get rid of your supportive family members, get rid of your savings in your bank account, your earnings, your job, your house, your ability to provide for yourself with food, clothes. Because all of these, it's all a threat to their control over you, to their ability to possess you like this object. It's just making them even more jealous, because they feel like you're taking something, which is you, away from them. So they look at it like, if all of these things are a threat to my possession and control over you, and clearly what I have to do is just take the world away from you, or take you out of the world. And first, what they might try is, I mean, if that is quite a difficult thing for them to accomplish, they may try to turn you against the world. So they'll try and put fear into you. They'll make you believe that no one likes you, or that they're not to be trusted. You shouldn't go out, you shouldn't spend time with your friends. They're bad, they're no good for you. They're just using you. Or you shouldn't go to your job and work, you don't need to do that. They can provide for you. You don't need to go out, you don't need to leave the house. Or another thing, with your money in your account, they'll just say, let's set up a joint account. We're in a relationship now, let's just share our money together. That's what couples do. It's just more control, more possession to stop you from getting away, to take your life away from you. They will start off by trying to turn you against everyone, by making you think bad of people, as though they're all no good, as though they haven't got your best interests in mind, or they're seeking to harm you in some way. And if you're dealing with narcissistic parents, this will typically happen when you're younger. Usually during your teenage years, when you're beginning to find your own identity, you start to make friends, have relationships. They will try to make you think that your friends are bad, something is wrong with them, they're bad influences on you, they're no good, they're trouble. Or if you're beginning to have relationships with the opposite sex, then they will try and shame you and make you feel like you're not good enough for them, as though they're not really going to want you, or as though no one else wants them. They're undesirable, so their only option is you. And that's the only reason why they're with you. But if you still continue to go out and you're making friends, you're working, earning money, having relationships, just having a good time, living life like we all should do, If you're still going out and you're doing that, then if they're able to accomplish it, they're going to go all out and start a smear campaign against you. And pretty much what they're doing when they're doing that is they're trying to take the world away from you. They can't take you away from the world. So they're going to try and take the world from you. That's the next step. And it's the next step because it's typically the most difficult thing to accomplish. But if there really is that pathological envy and jealousy, then, and you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, they will go all out to accomplish that. As I've already heard from many of my clients, and I've experienced it myself on several occasions from several different narcissists. So again, they will go all out to take the world away from you. And to do that, they're going to assassinate your character, discredit you, smear your name, make everyone think that something is wrong with you. You're a bad person, you're crazy. And they will try and get you fired from your job. They may steal from you, your money, your possessions. Try and get you to drain your finances. They may just take you to court so that you spend all of it on court fees, dealing with them. There's so many different things that they can do. But underneath it all, you've got to look at what is the motive of all of this? What are they trying to accomplish? Of course, what they're trying to do is they're trying to destroy your independence, your autonomy, your ability to govern yourself. They're trying to take away your freedom because that's a threat to their control, to their ability to possess you, essentially like a demon. It's like a demonic possession where they want to take control of your body, mind, and soul. They want to own you and your life and dictate what you do from one day to the next. So that it's like your life is not your own. And instead, it's kind of just an extension of what they want for you. That's how it is when someone is jealous of you. And when it's really that extreme pathological jealousy, it's like your entire life, your entire existence revolves around them. And you will know when this is happening because it's like, if you look at your life right now, how much that is going on in your life is actually what you want. What you were expecting your life to be. And just think about that for a moment. Is any of it how you planned it out to be for yourself? Just think about that for a moment. And really just look at your life, look at your friends, your social circle. Do you have any support? Where are you living right now? What are your living conditions like? Do you have a job? How much money are you earning? How much savings do you have in your account? What are you planning for your future? Do you have any goals, dreams, or ambitions? Are you planning a holiday, a vacation? Are you planning to spend time with any of your friends? What do you even have in your life that's reserved for you? Or is the narcissist involved in everything? Do they have their fingers in all of the pies in your life? Do they have to be involved in everything? And at the same time, are they gaslighting, brainwashing, and indoctrinating you to think how they want you to think? Because it gets to that point sometimes as well. Where it's like, even though they've controlled the physical world and everything in it through their smear campaigns, and it's like, there's nothing in the physical world of your own. Remember, with abuse, because it's based on their ego, they're egotistical. The ego always wants more, they're never satisfied. So even when they've managed to contain you in the physical world, it's like, yeah, but hold on a minute. You've still got your brain. You've still got your imagination, your thought process, your emotions. So these are things I can't control. And that's when they're going to want to get in there through the use of hypnosis, putting you in a trance, like a puppet on a string, and they're the puppet master, to where they want to control your every thought, your every emotion, your every move. They just want to control everything. And you will see that as well, where it's like, they want things to be predictable. Jealous people want to know what you're thinking in every moment, what you're feeling, what you're going to do, where you're going to go, who you're going to be with. I mean, if they can have it there where you're not going to be with anyone, you're going to be alone every day, and you're only going to be thinking and feeling whatever they want you to think and feel in any given moment, as you're not going to be engaging in any activities or interests other than what they prescribe for you. But when it comes to your thoughts and your emotions, sometimes that can be difficult for them to control all of the time. And sometimes with your actions as well. I mean, it's difficult for them to always have some reason or excuse for why you can't do certain things. I mean, it's like, what if you decide today, all right, I want to go out, I want to go to the park for a walk. It might be difficult sometimes for them to argue with that. Sometimes they will, but then there's other times where that they are jealous of you, or that they're trying to control you. So that may be one reason why they don't always do it. But let's just say you want to go out to the park. The alarm bells are going to be ringing in their heads. It's like, this is supposed to be my possession. I'm supposed to own this. This is meant to be an object that exists to serve me and meet my needs, and it's getting away. It's like this object has just sprouted legs and it's running away. So then what they do instead, kind of like to trick their minds into thinking, no, it's not running away. I'm still in control of this. This still belongs to me. What they do is it's like they have to really micromanage everything that you're doing in your life. They have to analyze and study you. They've got to learn you and your likes, your interests, your daily activities, the things you like to do, the places you like to go. They have to study all of that. So then they know where it's like, okay, it's Thursday today. I know it's not, but let's just say it's Thursday, 3 p.m. All right, he's going to go to the park. He's going to go to this park. Thursday, 3 p.m. That's where he's going to be. I already know that's what he's going to do. But if he's going to be with someone, or if he's going to be alone, how long he's going to spend there? He's going to be there for 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, and then he's going to go over here, and then he's going to come back home. So it's like in their minds, they've already premeditated everything. They've already visualized it in their minds. So it's like, because they've already studied everything about you, your likes, your interests, your disinterests, your dislikes, your activities, they've studied all of these things already. So then in their minds, it's like, all right, you can go over there, you can go and do that for a certain amount of time, because I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. I've already predicted it. So that means I'm already in control of it because I already know what you're going to do. This is how an extremely jealous person thinks. And it can even go to another level as well, another level altogether. Whereas where I mentioned with the smear campaign, they want to force flying monkeys, people who act on their behalf, people who do their dirty work, their bidding. So it's like, you may think you're going to the park. You're just going to go for a little walk. You're not even going to meet anyone, just on your own. Because maybe you've been shamed so many times as though you're not good enough for anyone. You can't have any friends, can't have a relationship. So you just think, all right, I'm just going to go to the park on my own. See the trees, see the flowers. Maybe listen to the birds singing. But you're not alone. Because the narcissist already has their flying monkeys there, waiting for you. Watching your every move. And when I mean watching your every move, they are scanning your facial expressions, your body language, your eyes, as I've mentioned in past videos, where they like to look in your eyes and see exactly where your eyes are looking in any moment, because they're that jealous. They've got to be in control of everything. So, and this micromanaging, it can be really extreme, depending on how jealous they are. I mean, it can get to the point because, as I said, it's based on their ego, because they're very egotistical. And the ego always wants more, so they're never satisfied. And they always feel like they're missing out on something. They always feel like they're missing out, narcissists. So you could be at the park, the narcissist could be at home. They got their flying monkeys in possession, ready for you. You're just sitting on the bench at the park. And all of a sudden, you notice a bird, you look over at a bird. That information is going to get back to the narcissist. You just looked at a bird. That's a threat to their sense of power and control. Because you just moved your eyeballs. Your eyeballs just went from left to right. And they were scanning you, they saw that. Or maybe you heard a noise. Maybe you heard a branch falling from a tree. Maybe you didn't even look. But they were watching you, they knew that you heard a sound. So that's more information that they need to record. And they're keeping note of all of this for your future experiences and or interactions. They log this data over many weeks, months, or years, and they carry it on as long as they feel that it's needed to feel like they know you and that they own you. And all of this information is fed back and forth between the narcissist and their flying monkeys. Because the narcissist views their flying monkeys as extensions of themselves as well. So they kind of share the same identity. I mean, they really have no identity of their own at all. But it's kind of like this groupthink mentality, this hive mind. So if the narcissist is jealous, possessive, and controlling, then the flying monkeys are going to share those same traits and behaviors as well. Because it's projected onto them for them to then act out in that way. So this is how it goes when they're jealous of you. These are the signs. And at the beginning of the video, I know I began with more the mild signs, because let's be real, We're all capable of experiencing envy and jealousy. It's normal, it's healthy. Yes, these are actually healthy emotions when we're in control of them and we keep them in check. The problem is that with some people, narcissists, it then leads to actions and behaviors. And it may have for us as well at some point in the past with the mild behaviors, such as I mentioned earlier, maybe you felt envious or jealous of someone in the past and you insulted them. Maybe you even mimicked or copied them. On one occasion, it didn't become a habit, something you're doing every day. With narcissists and extremely toxic people, they will insult you all the time. They will mimic and copy you and really take on your identity as their own. And then it will lead to the more extreme signs where they become really arrogant and entitled because they're like idealizing you, viewing you as superior, as though you're thinking you're better than everyone. And then they will exclude you from parties, special occasions, so that they have an opportunity to be you. Minimize your success and accomplishments, or they just won't even acknowledge it. And then they will exaggerate your faults and mistakes. They will lie, future fake, gaslight, act like they're superior to you, punish you for no reason at all, and take pleasure in your pain and misfortune. They will give you the silent treatment, ghost you, but then at the same time, they will stalk and watch you and act like they know everything about you and your life. But then they won't even be communicating with you. And then they will go and sabotage your success, gossip about you, label you as bad, crazy, bring up things from the past, 10, 20 years ago, act like it's something that happened yesterday, triangulate you and compare you with other people, start smear campaigns against you, trying to get you fired from your job, target you financially, drag you through the courts, get you to spend all your savings, and just completely isolate you so that you have no friends, no relationships, no support network, no one who is there for you. First, it starts with them trying to take you away from the world, making you think that the world is bad, it's not safe. People are just out to get you. It's like this us against the world mentality. It's just you and them. They're by your side. They've got your back. That's the jealousy. Their controlling nature. But then if that doesn't work, and you're still desiring, as a normal human being, you're still desiring to go out and experience the world, make friends, have relationships, have experiences, it's normal. If you're still desiring to do that, then they're going to want to take the world away from you. And that's when their behavior gets really extreme. In Cinderella, the wicked stepmother and stepsisters, they didn't really get to that extreme where they took the world away from Cinderella. It was more just they targeted her self-esteem and maybe made her afraid of the world to isolate her. So some of these things with malignant narcissists, it's really like Cinderella on steroids. But yeah, this is just how it is. When you're dealing with these narcissists, these toxic, jealous people, they will go to any extent, some of them. Especially the ones where it's like, if they really have no identity, no purpose, no meaning to their lives, no life of their own, they've got nothing going on for themselves, That's really going to determine just how jealous they will become. Because you've got to think about it like this. And I'm not just talking about in relationships here, but just to give an example. Think of the player type of narcissist. If a narcissist is a player, and they've got tons of options, they can have any girl they like, any day of the week. They got all these girls on their phone waiting for them whenever they want them. Someone with so many options like that, you really think they're going to be concerned about you? They're going to be jealous about you? They're going to be trying to possess you? Of course not. They're not going to care. They're not going to be bothered about what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with. It's like, whatever, you do what you want. Maybe I'll see you next week, the week after that. They're not going to care. I'm not glorifying them. I'm not saying player narcissists are better. Of course, I understand some of you've experienced that, and it can be hurtful, especially when they lie about it and they make it seem like they're not players. I mean, if someone comes out and they say that they are, then that's kind of on you then if you decide to continue with that relationship. But I'm just using it as an example. The player narcissists, they're not going to care so much about you. They're not going to be jealous. They're not going to be possessive, controlling, because they've got so many other options. So they're going to forget about you very easily. But with the narcissist who, it's like they haven't got many options or any options at all, of course, then your perceivable value goes up in their eyes. Now you're worth that much more. Now you go from, like, with the player type of narcissist, you may just be some cheap watch that they can easily replace whenever they want to. But then with the narcissist who's more possessive and controlling, to them, you're like that Rolex or that watch with sentimental value, the one that they will go to the ends of the earth to find if they ever lost it. They're never going to give up on looking for that because they can't replace it or they can't afford to buy another one. So they're going to be extremely jealous, extremely possessive and controlling, for the simple fact that they can't find anyone else like you. Which really confirms that as an empath, you're irreplaceable. They can't replace you. They can't find another chosen one. It's just you. Which really confirms, I mean, as I've said in past videos, and some of you may have questioned if, maybe I'm just over complimenting you, just trying to boost your ego, make you feel good about yourself. But if you've watched this video up until this point, and it relates to you and to your situation, all of this really confirms you really are that special. You really are that valuable of a person. At least it's either that. It's one of two things. It's either that you're an extremely valuable, special person, or that the narcissist that you're dealing with is just an absolute nobody, a loser, who has no options, nothing going for them in their lives, nothing to do, no meaning, no purpose. It's one of the two. Or it could be both, potentially, as well. It could be that they're losers, they're nobodies, they have no options, they have nothing going on, no purpose, no meaning, no direction in their lives. But then at the same time, you are also very special and very valuable, which you could be to someone else. So yeah, I take that back. It could be It could be both at the same time as well. But which one it is for you, I can't really say. I mean, it depends. I'm sure you will know if you've watched this video up until this point. You will know which one it is for you, or if it is more of a mixture of both. Usually it will be. I mean, the odds are, I would say, that the narcissist you're dealing with, I mean, if they really are that possessive, that controlling, that jealous, and they're really micromanaging everything in your life, clearly they must be losers. They must have nothing else going on. They got no purpose, no meaning, no direction. But at the same time, it may be because, yes, you are special. You are valuable. The only problem is it's for someone who quite clearly does not deserve you. Because you've got to think about it like this. If they really deserved you, if they were really that great, you really think they'd be that worried about you? And I don't mean that people just should not even care about the person they're with, or whether it's a narcissist with their children, whatever it may be. I'm not saying that at all. But it's like, if it's to that extreme, I'm talking about extreme pathological jealousy, where they're extremely possessive and controlling. This is all just confirming that they already know they're not good enough for you. They don't deserve you. And if they weren't so possessive and controlling and micromanaging everything about your life, they already know you wouldn't want anything to do with them. You wouldn't be anywhere near them. That's why they're so possessive and controlling. Because deep down, they clearly have very low self-esteem. They already know they're not good enough for you. And that's why they act the way that they do. Because if they really believe that they were that great, I mean, let's talk about a healthier relationship. Yes, as I mentioned, envy and jealousy, these are healthy, normal human emotions as well. But they're not going to lead to these extreme actions or behaviors. If a person believes that they are good enough, they have self-esteem, they're worthy, they're deserving of you, then it's not going to lead to that at all. Because if a person has their own purpose in life, they've got their own things going on, they're just not even going to have the time. They're not going to have the time to do that. They're going to be more focused on their own lives. And yet, not only that, but it's like, even if it was one of those things where it's like it's two people who are kind of at the same level, and it's like they both found each other and they're both attractive, both successful. Of course, in that kind of situation, you're going to want to spend quite a bit of time together, probably. If you're both on the same level, you both like each other a lot, of course, that's perfectly understandable. And you might even spend less time doing other things to be with this person. As you might even become a little bit jealous if they're going somewhere else off with their friends or whatever it may be. But even then, it's still going to be evident that you have your own thing, or they do. That there's something going on in your life or in their life of value. There's some type of mission, some type of purpose outside of the person that you're dealing with. That's going to be clear, that's going to be evident. Something that takes priority more. You're going to see that. And not only that, because that can be a case with some narcissists as well. So not only that, but also there's not going to be these damaging and destructive behaviors to where they're trying to ruin you in some way. It's like, okay, yes, they may be a little bit jealous, but they're not trying to destroy your friendships or relationships. They're not constantly insulting you and making you feel bad about yourself. They're not trying to isolate you and keep you in the home. They're not trying to get you fired from your job. They're not causing you to lose financially. And they're not engaging in typical narcissistic behaviors such as manipulation, pathological lying, future faking, gaslighting, denial, smear campaigns, of course, triangulation. They're not doing any of that. There is a clear difference. There really is a very clear difference. And all of these signs are what reveals to you exactly what you're dealing with. Someone who's just a little bit jealous. They like you, they want to be with you. I mean, that's really what it is as well. It's like with the jealousy thing, a person who's a little bit jealous, it's like they still like you. They can still compliment you. They still want to be with you. If you're in a relationship, they still want to hold you, kiss you, love you. But when it's narcissistic and they're jealous, any love that it seemed like they had before, that quickly turns to hate. Quickly turns to them wanting to tear you down and destroy you. Destroy anything that they think is taking you away from them. Whatever it is, no matter how important that is to you, they don't care. They're only concerned about themselves and what they want. And what they want is to own you, possess you. Like a demonic possession. And I know that may sound funny, but it's true. And I'm sure many of you who are watching this, that's exactly how it feels. It's like this demon who just wants to completely possess and control every aspect of your life. And it's like no matter what you do, you just can't get away from it. But if that's what you're going through, it is very dangerous for you. I mean, just look at your life and it's like, what about your life did you actually even decide for yourself? What about your life did you actually want for you? Or was it all just what they wanted for you? That's how you know they're jealous. That's how you know they're possessive and controlling. That's how you know you need to get as far away from them as you possibly can. Because it's just going to get worse. The ego always wants more. They're never going to be satisfied with how they're controlling you, how they're abusing you. It's never going to be enough. With time, they're only going to become more jealous, more controlling, more possessive, more abusive. It's just going to get worse. And that's why you've got to make your exit plan. You've got to get out. You've got to set strong boundaries. Get a restraining order if you can. And establish or maintain an existing support network. Of course, it's not always so easy to just go no contact. It can be very dangerous for you to do that as well. Because remember, if they're jealous, you don't know how they might react. Sometimes they may even become violent. They may try to isolate you. They may try to take the world away from you. So you've got to be very careful. And that's why before going no contact, I do advise for you to speak to a therapist or a coach. And I am a life coach, a narcissist and relationship expert, a narcissist expert, rather, just in case anyone gets that confused. I'm not a self-proclaimed narcissist, but I am an expert on narcissists and an expert on relationships as well. So I definitely advise booking a coaching session with me first before you strategize your exit plan and go no contact with someone who is pathologically jealous or a narcissist or a toxic person. And to book a session with me, all you have to do is go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. I've got all of the prices and information on there. Also, please give this video a thumbs up, as it helps the YouTube algorithm to get this message out there to other people who may need to see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit subscribe and click all notifications to be notified when I upload a new video. And I am accepting donations now as well. If you would like to help support our community, you can donate through my PayPal. It is paypal.me/narcsurvivor. And also I do have my Instagram, where I am uploading new pictures and videos of my travels to my story every day on there. My Instagram is Narc Survivor YouTube. You can follow me. I hope you found this video helpful, and I appreciate your support. And there will be more videos coming very soon.